Yo, welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Gomu Gomu No Talk podcast, where we talk all things One Piece and Straw Hat related items and paraphernalia. I don't even know what I'm saying. Uh, um, I'm your host. I am one of the co-hosts, one of two. My name is Lyle. Let's think about our boy. I don't have a camera right now. I think it's a common thing. It happens from time to time, but I'm in an undisclosed location. You know, undisclosed location, also known as a private room right now, in the library. Um, and with me is my co-host, the other half of this podcast, Austin.
What up?
What's up,
What up?
Austin?
Welcome back, lads.
Welcome back. And today we have a lot of fucking content, actually. It's crazy. Because what, we just came back from a break, right? There was a break last week.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
there was a break last week, and then, dude, he's just released what 1175 on the first, and then I already saw this. I already saw that people have been like talking about 1176 already. So
What's crazy is I haven't even looked at any of the spoilers for the next chapter.
I
I've been
ain't
so busy at
either.
school, man. Oh my God. Yeah, school's been tough. But you know what? This week there was a lot of things because usually because you guys know we usually just do the chapters, but we have an SBS to talk about, and there's also some other cool things that we didn't even talk about before this
I think we should
podcast.
talk
So
about
like,
that before the SBS actually, just like some of the other stuff
yeah,
that's
yeah, I
going
think you know
on
what
in
I'm
the One
talking
Piece
about,
verse.
man. Man,
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
let's talk about that video that came out
Yes.
like where Oda put the he put the what the One
The
Piece
One
is.
Piece.
He
Basically,
he
he
put
put the One Piece
the
in a
yeah,
chest,
he put the One
right?
Piece in the chest and into an undisclosed location.
Mhm.
And in my head I'm like, but when I watched that video, I was like, there's no way that Oda just wrote that thinking, oh, no one's gonna find it. Knowing that motherfuckers like this, motherfuckers like Rainbow, the GeoGuessr community, who and also how crazy his fans are, who are just gonna watch this video, dissect everything, and find out where exactly that location is. Now, who's crazy enough to go 691 meters below ocean floor,
Yeah.
below the water to go find it? That's up to you.
I
I
already
don't
saw
know.
like when that came out, mad people were like, "I, it's time to go find the One Piece."
Yeah, I think the popular post or red post was it's off the coast off Tokyo, near where Oda lives. Okay,
Uh,
and so it's somewhere off the coast of Japan because I think the boat is like some Japanese company or it might
uh,
have been the Japanese Coast Guard. I didn't really look into the post. I just saw like a little bit of what people were saying.
yeah,
But the boat is from like Japanese Coast Guard that helped them do this, and that's really it. And then like based off of like I don't even know, based off something, they concluded that it's off the shores of Tokyo. Now, I don't know shit about 691 meters is just a random number to me.
yeah,
I don't know how deep that is. I assume that's very deep.
yeah. It's
I
pretty
also
deep.
remember like not too long ago the when they tried to go see that Titanic. I forgot what was that boat called? It ended up exploding when they went too deep.
Oh,
I don't know.
I forgot the name of it, but
Yeah, the
yeah,
voyage, something voyage.
yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, since I know Isho Speed said he was gonna go find it,
That's what I saw.
good luck to
Yeah,
him. I hope he doesn't die, and I do hope if he does find it, like I hope he does what he did, what Luffy did in Stampede and just destroys it.
yeah.
That would be that would be the craziest thing ever if he just
Mhm.
grabs it, just destroys it, just
Dude, but
burns
that
it
is,
or
I'm
something.
not gonna
Just
lie, when I saw that, that was actually so hype. The fact that he buried, I guess, what the One Piece is,
oh my,
at the bottom of the sea.
yeah.
And I guess that's just like, I feel like that's almost like a message of you know, we're gonna get there soon, eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna no. That's a. I think that's something you would do if the story is a few years from ending. I'm not
Yeah.
saying few as in two, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Hmm.
But like I do
Uh,
think it's gonna like based off that video and like all the
yeah.
stuff that's like coming along together. I do think it's gonna end it like I'll say like I'm gonna get put my not my guesstimation but my prediction
What
I
year?
think is
What
the word
year?
like maybe I
2030.
think it's 3.5 years is my guess.
Okay, so like 2029. My guess is
Yeah.
2030, the beginning of 2030. So like
Nah.
a little less than 4 years.
Yeah. So we have around the same time.
Yeah. Oh,
I think.
yeah. Also, other big news. I don't know if you saw it, but I've actually been getting ads for it. But it's the season two trailer for the live action.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes. I have seen it, and you know what? Speaking of the live action, I will be watching it. I'm
Hmm.
very excited. I had to watch season one with my girlfriend because that's the only way I can get her to watch One Piece. Or that's the way she would actually wouldn't watch One Piece. So,
Honestly,
you
that's a
know,
good time. I really enjoyed the live action. I thought it was actually like paced. You know, the pacing's different, but I thought from the standpoint of like a live action, it makes a lot of sense how they pace the story. They moved everything around, but it still kind of flows pretty well. But dude, I'm actually so excited for season two. Seeing all the characters and the casting is kind of crazy. Did you see Brooke? They just
yeah,
like announced Brooke like
that's
sometime last week or something, and
yeah. I
I
did
just
see the
saw him for
announced
the first
Brooke.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
but
pretty fucking.
they look crazy, dude. Some of the characters, I really like the casting.
I have hope, especially because Oda has a lot of input into what goes on to live action. Right? I know
Oh
he
yeah.
chose most of the main cast, and I assume he still does choose the
Hmm.
cast for what's gonna happen. But yeah, no, I'm actually very excited to reading that. Wait, what are you sipping on, man?
Oh, I just got some coffee.
All right, that's what's up. Yeah. Also, in other news too, man, there's a lot of stuff that happened this week for One Piece. I don't know if you saw. I don't know how real this is. I just saw like a post saying that One Piece has officially passed Superman for the most
Oh, I didn't
sold
see
comic
that.
ever.
Yeah.
I don't know how real is that because I know Superman was like. I know they said that it was going to take a few years. I read that like a few months ago. It was going to take a few years for One Piece going to pass it based off its pace. But if they, shit, man, if that's true, it was gonna eventually pass it, right, at some
Yeah, I
point.
think I think a
But
lot of things help though. Like for example, I think the live action actually boosted, you know, like the sales by a ton, you know? Like I even
I
now I have
also
coworkers that watch the live action. It's crazy.
you- the trading card game too, because I know a lot of people, a lot of
Mm,
my friends. I have a lot of friends who I played WoW with,
yeah.
who used to be like, I would never watch One Piece. That is too long. But they're really into TCG, like Pokemon
Yeah.
and Magic, and they start getting into One Piece trading cards, and then they start watching the anime.
Yeah. Dude,
You know, and I'm sure
we got friends
there's
that
a lot
play
of
the
people.
One Piece trading card game that still don't watch One Piece, you
Yeah,
know?
that's what I'm saying. But like,
But
it's
they
gonna
know
get to a
about
point where
it.
they're gonna be, oh well, I might start getting into it. You know,
Mhm.
I might start have to watch, and
Yeah.
that's fucking dope. And I don't know, I really hope that okay, we're seeing some LeBron James type of longevity going on with One Piece right now,
Oh yeah.
and Oda is going crazy, and dude, I mean, like seeing that is gonna be amazing.
Mhm.
Seeing how much it's grown, how much more people are getting into it. Even if, hey man, if it's even it's from the I don't like TCG play people, not so much the people who like to collect. I don't like the resellers. I don't like resell culture. Just not just with like TCG, which is other stuff too. But you know, if it gets more people into the One Piece community, you know,
Yeah.
that's fuck it. I mean, I got into the One Piece community just from being bored, and it just like fucking fuck it. I might as well just start watching this,
Bro, after years
and
of me
here I am.
pestering Lyle about One Piece, he
Yeah,
finally did it, and now we're here.
an hour here. So
So
that's that.
yeah,
I'm pretty fucking. It's pretty dope. Is there anything else that might have occurred that I might have missed
I'm trying to think. I
before we get
think
into the SBS?
those were like pretty much it. A lot of they were all within like the last week. It felt like Pew Piece was just popping off with posts for like 3 days straight. You know, back to back. The chapter releases, the spoilers. We got you know Oda straight up burying the One Piece live action.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. But I want to just roll into our next segment, and that's another thing that came out. I think within the last week was the SBS. Let's see. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll put it in the video, but I'll definitely drop a link to it. So if you guys want to follow along, you can. But he did a SBS like a Q&A recently, and I really like when Oda does these. It's kind of nice to see like him interacting with fans questions that obviously we all have, and his answers. But I feel like half the time he's just kind of trolling with these answers, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of trolling, and there's one in particular that went like made some rounds on Twitter.
I know which one you're
I don't
talking
know. Yeah,
about.
and then people have to like start realizing Oda is a giant troll, even though it's a even though like there's like that saying that all good jokes have some truth in it. I can tell you for a fact that Oda's a troll, and he's a gooner. So we're gonna
Mhm.
get to that whenever we get into it. And thank you for I think who does this is Pewpiece does the translation for these. It's
Yeah,
pretty
I
dope.
believe
And
so.
we got an acute bar. I guess I could start off with
Uh-huh.
the first one. The reader asks, or the reader says, "Hello, Oda Sensei, Captain John and Gansui of the Rocks Pirates. Aren't they the previous users of the Jiki Jiki no Mi, also known as Kid's Fruit, and the Bomo Bomo no Mi, also known as Mr. Fast Fruit? But their usage was a bit different. Is Gil Bastar the previous Horror no Mi, which is Perona's Devil Fruit user? Did this person use negative hollows? That's right. They're all previous users and are already dead. These three appeared once as general zombies during the Thriller Bark arc, but well, it doesn't really matter. But there isn't a fixed way to use an ability. Their user's personality comes out. Since Gansui has thick fingers, he couldn't pick his nose to make Booker Mouse like Mr. Five. Now, time is up. That's it for the SBS. Luffy doesn't appear at all in this volume, but he'll go wild in the next one. I think this is like the last page. This was supposed to be the last page, but
Hmm.
we'll just go from here.
Yeah.
Um, the thing I do like about this one is that like the I remember Lucci says that like there's no devil fruit will be a bad thing. It just
Yeah.
it will so it kind of just depends on the person's personality or like
Hmm.
how they use the fruit.
Yeah.
And like I think a lot of people will always talk about oh like this fruit is low key like super OP. I can't really think of one in particular, but people will talk about how some fruit is so OP, how they can like take over the world if the user wasn't so fucking stupid, right?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. There's no really one that comes into my head from that example, but
Hmm.
I do think it's super cool when we go to flashbacks and we see um different users of like
Yeah.
previous fruits of like the ones like we saw it in Wano,
Hmm.
like was the one fruit the one where you get swap faces?
Yes.
Yeah,
I forgot Bon Clay's fruit, but we saw that. We
yeah,
also saw the previous user of the barrier fruit, the one that
yeah.
Bartholomew has. We see this actually a few times, but yeah, it's always nice seeing the previous users, especially in this case when they are like also they were like legendary pirates, such as like Captain John, Gansui, like all the rocks users. So it's always nice to see. Let's see. And then so I guess I got the next one. So the reader says, "Are there any standard activities or games that Luffy and the crew play during their parties?" Oda replies, "There are plenty. Once Brook gets into the swing of things, he immediately starts playing the piano or violin. Frankie joins in on the guitar, and then the singing and choruses begin. There's the classic chopsticks in the nose dance, and next we have what is it? It said what even is
Usopp
this?
quit.
Usopp quiz. Usopp's uh, boards are handed out and everyone plays. There are penalty games. So it seems like they also play some kind of games. There's arm wrestling, board games, Jenga, weapon darts. They use sword, axes, and knives. Drinking contests, speed eating contests, and then Jinbei's dice gambling. Blindfolded plank walking, sumo, Usopp's imitation show, etc. The standard thing above all is probably just singing. Okay, so just asking what they do on
Man.
the ship, I guess when they're traveling, when they have downtime before, taking over countries, fighting pirates. like
um I love stuff like this because like there was like last semester I was a big fan of using like white noise like not white noise like background noise so
yeah.
sometimes I'll look up like random coffee sound like coffee shop sounds
Oh
or
really?
library sounds or stuff like that right like
Yeah.
just like to feel like to make me feel like I'm somewhere
Yeah.
and I remember there was one in particular I saw and it was like POV like it's like 2 hours like you're
Yeah.
on Straw Hat ship
Mhm.
and it's just like the sound of like the water going through the ocean, and you just hear random bullshit that like Luffy, Zoro, and all those like all the Usopp especially too. Like Luffy and Usopp was like are the main ones you would hear in that video of
Yeah.
just them doing stupid shit. And it was like actually like very soothing, right? But like I do like to think like how um I want to see more of stuff like this, like less serious shit, like
Hmm.
in the show as well. But I know like we're getting less and less screen time of like playful things that the the Straw Hat crew does. But I think it's fun when Oda does stuff like this too.
Yeah.
He talks about it.
Mhm.
Let's go to the next one. Odachi, does the captain of the Kuja parts always become the Empress of Amazon Lily? Um, Oda says it's actually the other way around. First, there is a saying in Amazon Lily: in this country, strength is beauty. The strongest, the most beautiful person wins throne as empress. Simultaneously, they also serve as the captain of the Kuja pirates. With the story of Shakuyaku, who successfully escaped celestial dragons, being depicted in this volume, I feel like we can start to see why Hancock and her sisters, who were candidates for the empress position, were targeted and enslaved by someone. Not that it matters, though. Reader says young Glorioso was depicted wearing the same earrings as Hancock. Also, it seems Shakuyaku and Tritoma wore different accessories before becoming captain, but wore the same earrings after. Is there a rule that the captain of the Kuja pirates wear those earrings through the generations? Just like the previous question, being the empress comes first. Think of them like a crown that is passed down to each empress. After they step down, they are free to keep wearing them or take them off. I feel
Okay.
like, I feel like this was pretty kind of like was this not like I guess was this not a given though? Like that if you were
Yeah.
the Empress of Amazon Lily, you were probably also just the the captain of the Kuja Pirates.
Yeah, I felt like this was
Um
kind of like most readers just kind of took that as like a given. Like, if you're the captain or the princess, like you're both. Like, it's not like you can have one without being the other. It was almost like a given.
also also I didn't realize too though about the earrings. I thought that was kind of
Hmm.
cool that
I did
they had
notice the
mentioned
earrings, and I
that.
assumed that it was just like they just gave them to whoever was the ruler of Lily. But I guess again, he says it's the same thing. Whoever rules it or
Cool.
whoever's the captain, or they go hand in hand. So okay, let's see. Next we got So the reader asks, is the Kozuki Moria seen in the chapter 1158 cover page actually Gecko Moria? I bet you've received a mountain of questions about this. Please tell us, Odachi. This is also something that I think all of us were asking when that chapter came out.
Yes.
And Oda says, that is right. I actually wanted it I actually wanted to reveal this during the Wano arc, but I couldn't find the right opening to fit it in. Based on the information I've given you all so far, Moria was described like this. He once fought with Kaido. After his entire crew was killed, he developed a personality that relies on others. He possesses the corpse of the legendary samurai Ryuma and the famous sword Shishui. From those points, you might have imagined he had been to Wano before, but what I really want to share is the reason for his fight against Kaido. When Moria was a young boy, he drifted ashore in Wano. The people of the Ringo region took him in warmly because they cherished him and gave him the name Kozuki. In honor of his strength, Moria, who had already set out to sea as a pirate, returned to fight Kaido in an attempt to save the people of Wano from his attack. However, he was defeated. After his loss, Moria felt so ashamed that he left Wano without saying a word. The people assumed he had died and built a grave for him. Since I cut this from the main story, it's just a need to know bit of trivia. So
Oh,
Oda
that's actually
officially
so
confirms it,
cool.
even though all of us were like already implying it. I know I was like a big believer in this one, so it's really nice that we finally get some confirmation about this because that was a big lore drop. Like, I even when I was like, until I saw that, I never made the connection that Moria was like, not necessarily like was from Wano, but he had ties to Wano. But bro,
Oh, I
here Oda
like
goes
that.
again, just tying everything up.
Man, why does Oda have, like make me feel for Moria that he like felt so bad he just didn't want to like he couldn't show his face. He
Mhm.
actually tried to go back and save the
Dude,
country that
he
actually
might
treated
be
him
a
so
good guy,
nicely.
bro. Yo.
He might be a good guy. He might be a good guy. Might be. And you know what though? Like that's such a I don't, oh my God, dude. Like it's like this is very I do want to see how previous version of what's it called? Uh, Moria like fought, and I want to see if he like will ever go back to like
Didn't
that kind of
yeah?
personality.
Didn't he
'Cause
fight Kaido for like a few days or something?
yeah, it was like days that they
Yeah,
fought.
I wanted to say it was like three
Eh,
days or something.
did he have that fruit that he has was it the
We
shadow fruit, right?
saw we didn't get to see if he had it at that point, but it kind of makes like I'm actually not too sure. We did see a snippet of their fight, but it didn't look like he had it at the time, or like there was no um indication that he had the fruit. But maybe he already did.
So next one. Hello, Oda Sensei. You mentioned that Denden Mushi don't mind being captured by humans because they get fed. Does that mean the Denden Mushi kept by his straw crew get to eat delicious meals made by Sanji? I'd love to know the details of how the crew take care of the Denden Mushi. Right. Well, Oda says, right. Well, first of all, of the Sunny, there's one long distance Denden Mushi. Additionally, for five members, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Robin, and Frankie carry baby Denden Mushi, which is short distance, which they sometimes lend to each other. Basically, as long as they have water, Dendemushi can survive for about 3 months without food. However, since communicating via thought waves use a lot of energy, it's best to keep things some. It's best to give them leftovers after use. They are let loose in places like Robin's flower bed or Nami's tangerine grove on the upper deck of the Sunny. They are perfectly happy if you occasionally give them their favorites, like cabbage or lettuce. Apparently, on days when they get sprinkled with water from watering can, they get so excited from their signal it can reach all the way to the other side of the world. Man, I I think it's so like cool when Oda does stuff like this where like he's giving like different lore drops of just random bullshit that like we probably would don't really need from the story, but
I
it's just
never
like
even thought about this in my life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
it's
the
just
fact
like
that Oda has like thought about this or thinks about this stuff, like it makes me happy of like how much
and he'll
detail
give you
he
a
has.
full answer.
Yeah, I was
You
not
know,
expecting this
this is
entire full answer.
this is like this is kind of off topic, kind of not, but like I've been like getting really like I've been watching like the Game of Thrones like what's it called the there's a House of Dragon and Night of the Seven Kingdoms like they're off
Yeah.
their spin off the word I'm looking for, and I was so like I've been getting like a lot of like George R. R. Martin like
Dude,
interviews
same.
and the Q&As.
And
So like
hearing
in
him
the way
talk
he
about it
talks
is crazy.
the way he talks about the world of Westeros and like the whole Game of Thrones universe is like he's like a historian talking about it.
Yeah.
Like that shit actually happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would
And
think it's a
the
real
way
life.
the way I imagine Oda talking about the random bullshit that he does talk about when he
Yeah.
gets into it, like then Mushi's like he's like, oh yeah, like no, like this is fact, like this is actually what's going on, and it's like, oh okay, like
Yeah.
then Mushi's like a real thing. It's like I don't know how else to explain it. It's like the way those two authors like how really like they get so delved into their universe and it's actually so dope. It's like you could just tell how much Oda really cares of, aside from how long he's been writing this for,
Yeah.
but how much thought he's putting into random shit like this
Yeah. He
that
cares
we
about
don't
the
really need.
details, I think. Like
Yeah,
all the small
he
details
cares
that
too.
even most of us don't even care about, or don't even think about, but he does like take the time and effort to like kind of build up literally every single detail in his story.
Yeah,
Let's see. And then so next we got so the reader asks, why is Stussie's Bat fruit, also known as Bato Bato no Mi, spelled with a small su, like TSU, instead of just Bato Bato? In the game Unlimited World Red, a pirate named Red also has a similar devil fruit, mythical Zoan type vampire. Did you spell it that way to match the name previously established for him? And Oda says, you hit the nail so hard on the head, I can't even argue. If I were naming it with my current vibe, I'd probably just go with Bato Bato. But I must have had my reasons for choosing Bato Bato, specifically like with two T's in this case, back then. So I stuck with it to stay consistent. Besides, it sounds like Kit Kat, Keto Kato, which is also tasty. So I guess it's all good, right? this 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 is also another detail I think nobody noticed, right? And I don't know who's ever
shit.
even played this game, you know, unlimited
I've
worldwide.
always heard how like the One Piece games are really bad.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I didn't even know that the World Red was that was an actual game. So we can go to the next one. Oda Oda's confirmed that the name of Rox's sword is Eclipse, which
Ooh,
is crazy because
I
man,
like
like
that.
Oda loves to talk about how everything ties together, right? And
Yeah, that's a
obviously
very fitting
since a
name.
lot of the it's a very fitting name of what like the two op. I don't even know how else to like say like Blackbeard. Cause you can say Blackbeard is the Eclipse now, right?
Yeah,
And Luffy
Blackbeard
is like the
is the
sun.
Eclipse now.
So like Luffy's the sun, right? They're probably not to end up working together. Who knows? Maybe
hmm
to defeat Emu. I do like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty badass name for a sword too. So
Okay, and then so next we got Oda confirmed that Shanks and Shamrock's mother's name is Magnolia.
W. The next one is Oda confirms Roxas ship is called Roxas Fury. I think that's a pretty ass name for a really badass character, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just be
I'm
honest.
not gonna lie. I mean, it's whatever. I still
It's a
like
whatever name
Blackbeard's
for
ship's name is fire. What is
this.
it? The Saber
The
of
Saber of
Sebek.
Zebek.
Like that
See, like
is
that's a cool name.
fire. Yeah.
That's a
So
cool name.
Rox's Fury.
This is
You
not.
know, we might actually have to add this to the boat tier list. I don't
Yeah.
know if we ever had a name for it when we did it, or if it was even in that video. But okay, nice little
And
update.
next one. Was I next
Um,
or did you? Yeah, I think you're next, right?
I
Yeah.
think I'm next. I just forgot. So Oda drew Yamato at age 40 and 60 in both a good future and a bad future. And then I guess in this good future, she looks just like Odin. Instead of the thorns, she has it looks like a mushroom head.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was at 40, and then so then at 60 she looks basically the same but just old. And then in the bad future, she's just dead and burning.
I shall be Odin.
Yeah.
All right, the next one. Reader Odachi, hello. I've been wondering for a long time, was that hooded figure talking to the five elders during the reverie about a certain part actually Shanks or was it Shamrock? Also, does mermaid poop come out from the front or the back? I love the way that this just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
question just he went from a
He
serious
just
question to
snuck in
beta
that
man.
question.
Yeah.
What?
Oda says, but yes, the back, yes. I like how he answered that question
Yeah.
first. Like that is the more
Let me
important question.
important yeah, let me answer the important question and then I'll get to the other one.
And then he goes, yeah, so Shamrock in the anime is actually voiced by Shanks' voice actor, Shuichi Ikeda. I realized, I forgot to tell him the anime staff it's not Shanks, but later I met Shamrock's voice actor, to Suda Kinjiro, and thought he's the one for Shamrock. So now I'm thinking it's a good thing I didn't rush back to pick a voice back then. I do
Okay.
think it's good that they
Yes.
chose
Un-
they
or
didn't like change the voice
reveal it.
actor because
Yeah.
yeah.
It kind
Or
of adds to the
maybe they could
mystery.
have
Mhm.
maybe they could have done the thing where I don't know, maybe they could have done that shot differently, but I think if they done that shot differently in a way where like maybe they don't have any voices in that one where
Mhm.
they just see like mouth like subtitles right or like they did like what they did with Emu where like they kind of muffled the voice so you don't
Yeah.
know who it is.
That would have
I
been
think
really
that could have been
interesting. But
that I see but I see like a lot of people when they were saying that that was Shanks back in the day like that
yeah.
was the biggest piece of evidence
Oh
like that's the
yeah.
same voice actor but
hmm
yeah.
No, I love the clarification on that, and I mean that one was a big hit back in the day when we saw that. It was just like, is this Shanks or is it not? So, okay, let's see. Next one is Freezer. So in chapter 1156, Roger's ship has the mark, the mustache skull, but Roger himself hasn't grown a mustache yet. Why is that? And then Oda says, "That's right. Those are udon noodles. You see." That's udon. Yeah. I got questions about this one. I got a lot. You're right. I think 99% of the readers didn't care, but now 100% of you won't be able to
Yeah.
unsee it. What should I do for the overseas fan? is it gonna be like long macaroni? Okay. I also thought about this too when we
I
were reading this. How
I did
like
not
he
I did
didn't
not
have
think
the
about this at
mustache. Like
all.
young Roger didn't have a mustache at the time, you know. But his
Maybe he just knew.
Jolly
Maybe he
Roger
just
was the
knew,
same.
man.
Yeah,
But hey, we
he
now we know
knew
it's
it
just
was
actually
coming.
udon noodles.
Yeah, and I can't unsee it.
Okay, so next is to celebrate Shiki's appearance in the main story. Please tell us things that his age and the grade of his swords. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. Oda says, sure, the character Shiki appears in the movie Strong World. If you're interested, go check it out. Let's see, what can I tell you? He is currently 73 years old. His swords Oto and Kogurashi are both Ryu Wazamono, which is skillful grade. He likes gold leaf sushi and hates Bud, burdock root. He hails from Yano country, a place that's like a rougher version of Wano country. His hobbies are Kanto and bonsai. Notes: Odo and Kogarashi fall under the 50 skillful grade swords categorically, and since Oda said he is currently 73 years old, it is confirmation that Shiki is still alive.
Oh, interesting.
That is an
Also,
interesting one.
yeah, I did not know that. But also, side note, Strong World, one of the actual good One Piece movies. I will say, I actually think that movie is like maybe it's because I saw it when I was so young, but I remember that one being really good. And also
So
Shiki as a character is cool as hell, bro. Did you didn't watch Strong World, right?
no, I didn't watch
But do you
Strong
know
World.
about the
No.
lore of Shiki? I might have to just get into this a little bit. It is because they go over
No.
it in
Tell me
Strong
about the
World.
lore.
So like you know how he was like in prison and impelled down. I think they mentioned this how
Yeah,
Shiki was one of the people to escape impelled down, right?
yeah.
But
I do know that. I do know
yeah,
that he went to go fight with Roger and Garp.
yeah. But
Not Roger and Garp, right? Garp and what's his face?
I
The
I
the
forgot.
Buddha, the Buddha,
Oh, Sengoku.
the Buddha.
Yeah, but
Yes,
the
Goku.
dude, the way he escapes impelled down is he just cuts off both his legs and he replaces them with his two swords because he can already levitate. So he just has
Yeah,
katanas as feet. Like it's actually so sick. I'm not gonna lie.
that's fucking amazing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but I do remember in like in like the anime they did
Mhm.
mention like Shiki, right? Like
Yeah.
during Marine Force, like oh the only people that's ever escaped was
You know.
Luffy. No, or maybe they was. I think it was like the last time someone fought in Marine Force was Shiki. I think I remember
Yeah.
his
Oh,
name. I
Shiki
do
try
remember
to
seeing.
pull up. Yeah,
Yeah,
and take over,
I
but
do remember the.
dude,
Yeah,
Shiki's one cool ass character. We might have to do a review on that movie.
and he's still alive. He's still
Still
alive.
alive.
That's
Yo, he
crazy.
was OP. Also,
That,
his ship is fire, dude.
yeah,
Oh man. Okay.
man. I do like. I was wondering like if we were ever gonna see Devil Fruit,
Mhm.
right? Because I assumed he was dead, but shit, I
Same,
guess not.
but I guess he isn't. Okay. Next one is so readers in the nightmare shown in chapter 1142. I can't believe the kid's greatest fear wasn't final exams. Oda Sensei, what is your greatest fear? It's the PTA, isn't it? PTA stands for Parent Teacher Association. Oda, manifesting a final exam as a monster is hard. Exams, also. This wasn't even a question. You just decided for me. But you're right, it's the PTA.
Oh, W Dad Oda.
Yeah.
Alright. Um. Next one. This was the one people were talking. I see this one on Twitter.
Mhm.
It's very funny. Hello, Oda. For people in One Piece who dress like this, referring to the high cut outfits in the image. One image is in Nami's Elbaf skirt outfit, and one image is in the ninja Puja skirt. Are they not wearing any underwear? And Oda says, "Of course they aren't. I mean, how would they even wear anything under that? Could you please stop ruining our dreams?" I think it's so. I remember I saw this post and then someone replied was like, you know, when Oda finishes One Piece, we gotta kill that man. We got, and I think people like Oda is trolling, right? But I think the funniest thing is like Oda doesn't just do this for the women too. I think he's done this. I'm pretty sure he's done this for males too, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just clearly trolling. But I do understand where people like think it is weird. I also think people just have to like this is like very old style anime like humor. I
Yeah.
feel like like the shit like we've been seeing like remember like in Naruto like Pervy Sage right and like
Yeah.
Kakashi. I feel like if that came out now, it would not have passed. The way if Jiraiya came out like
Oh yeah.
today, it would not have passed at all. But when people talk about Jiraiya, people oh my God he was like my dad like he's like my
Yeah.
sensei, but people do not remember how much of a fucking perv that man was, and it just I don't know what it is, man. It's just Japanese humor. I don't know.
Yeah. No, for sure. And then so now we're on to the last one, and reader goes, I want to be Gunko's slave. And Oda replies, go right ahead.
Yeah, Oda again. Oda needs
Oda
to be killed.
again. Yeah.
No, I'm playing.
Oh man. I actually
Oh,
really like this SBS. I love
yeah,
the lighthearted like playfulness that Oda's replies have in like pretty much each of these. But I also like how serious he gets into some of the questions that are just like so completely random. You know what I mean? Like the Den Den Bushi one, like bro, he gave like 2 paragraphs, in his explanation, as opposed to like some of
yeah.
these other ones where he's like, "Yeah, you're right." So it's good to see that he's interacting. He's thinking about all these things that that we pick up as readers and watchers and really enjoy. So it's always nice going over SBS. But I think that leads us right into the chapter review. Let's see.
Yeah, Nid Hogger or Nidhogg. The chapter 1175, Nidhogg. We have of course we got to start with the cover art. Reader request Sabo with koala babies hanging all over him by Ramen Maru. Um, by who? That's Koala. Yeah, I don't even know why. I
Yeah.
can't even think about who that was. Yeah, that's Koala. I think this is very funny.
Mhm.
I do think that do you know that guy that koala reminds me of that fucking one of the one of the little what's the what are those
The
people
guy.
the minks
Yeah, yeah.
the mink from Big Mom's crew.
Hmm.
He's wearing that suit. I think that's very cute. It's just,
Yeah. This one's actually I like this one. It's really cute. But okay.
um let's get
So
into
I
this chapter,
guess
man.
yeah, so the chapter starts off with Sanji freeing the rest of the Straw Hat crew. So we got, let's see, it's Nami, Robin. I guess whoever. Well, actually, no. I guess in this case, it was just Robin who was entangled by Saint Summer's thorns. Because I think the others were trapped by the arrow that got released last chapter. So Sanji's coming in, saving Robin. As always, gotta come and save the day. But and they're kind of just reacting to Loki's entrance that we saw in the last chapter. You can see that they're looking over and they're just like, what is that shadow? And we can see, I guess Loki's silhouette behind all the nightmares. And then in the Western Village, we have Loki, who has just pretty much dropped off all the kids and the parents, as well as like everyone on his back, to Javril and the other giants. And what's it called? We can see that the giant pirates are telling Loki in this situation is like, yo, you got to take the children somewhere safe. The children right in this point are still covered in Saint Summer's thorns. But Loki I love Loki's reply here. He's like, that is not my problem. Like my job
Yeah,
was
like
to save them and drop them off here, but like it doesn't make sense for Loki to be the to just be the carrier of the children to rescue them. Like this guy needs to fight, and he just tells
I
them all to just get off of him.
yeah, this next panel is so fucking badass. Like it's just like we see Loki in his dead hog form. We just like what is that? Like one of the birds, like one of the what's it called?
The
One of the
nightmares.
manifestations, that
Mhm.
nightmare manifestation is just in his mouth. He's like, get off, get off. He's like telling the kids, like, get off me. Like I'm just telling everybody, like all the children are safe. There's no, there are no longer any hostages, and everyone's celebrating.
Mhm.
Zoro's talking shit. He's like, what took you so long?
Yeah,
But like you're saying, like now that you're all big and shit, then you can crush all these guys. And we see that like this celebration is kind of short lived because we see who is it now? It's Saint Killingham being more thorns being thrown at him. And I think it's so funny, but how much aura loss Saint Killingham has gone
wait,
through
Saint
in this
Summers, right?
chapter. I'm sorry, Saint
Yeah.
Summers, my bad.
Hmm.
Saint Summers, Saint Summers just goes through in this chapter
Yeah.
is because now that real like comp has come up on him,
Yeah.
he's become he's become like what's it called? Just fodder at this point because he's basically a fake demon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like movies really be out here fake demons,
Bro, Summer's a
and he's just
fraud, bro. He is
he
a
he
fraud.
becomes like he becomes like a comical villain on
Hmm.
this like thing because like right after that like when we see Saint Summers just like screaming at him like he we see like Luffy he's just like about to like beat his fucking ass, right?
Yeah.
And we see that like what's it called? Saint Summers is on this like pretty fucking goofy looking serpent, like this thorn serpent, just what's it called? It's like shooting like a three-headed like monster, shooting thorns at him. Um and it like like, the way like his dialogue is it's just like reminds me of like a Team Rocket like
Hmm.
Pokemon villain
Yeah.
like or like a what's it called a Scooby Doo like what's the thing if the breath is still alive I haven't failed yet I can still do this guys
Yeah. It ain't
and
over.
I think it ain't over till it's over and I think the funniest thing is like when the kids are like I won't let you I'm not gonna let you hurt my parents it's my turn to protect them now and he's just like oh my god it's so sweet you kids are so fucking cute I don't even
Yeah.
care about the mission I just who should I kill first
Yeah.
and yeah, I can't wait to see Saint Summers like animated to see like how like I really hope whoever does this voice acting just has such a good time with this goofy character.
Yeah. They gotta get
And
the right voice actor between serious but also comical and just like
can just
yeah, who could
turn
just like
it at
switch up, his
um
personality and his emotions at a will.
yeah.
But yeah, so
But
Summers goes to shoot the children and again, Zoro coming in to save the day once again. He protects all the children from the thorns. And you know, Summers as always just like, huh? Like who did that? And I actually like this little bit of dialogue here where Luffy, like Zoro's his right hand man, and he just goes, "That's Zoro. Like, remember the name. He's with me." And we get to see Luffy. I believe this is a new attack. He grabs
yeah,
a lightning bolt and he kind of scopes in. He makes like a scope with his hand, like his thumb and his pointer, and it aims right at Summers, and he hits him with a Dawn Thorn rifle. And bro, this is gonna look so sick in the anime because he completely like as soon as he hits Summers, you can see like he completely splits his head in half.
yeah.
All the teeth
We
knocked out.
seen
Yeah.
we seen the last time till we like mess around with like lightning animations because
Mhm.
dude like I just know like these are little like panels into like a little like photo, like pictures into like into this giant panel right
Yeah.
it's gonna look be so fucking
It's gonna
badass when
be
he grabs
so
that fucking
sick.
lightning he's sniping into that motherfucker
uh
and just splits his head wide fucking open
yeah, straight up just demolishes Summers. And we can see it, this has a very profound effect because as soon as this happens and Summers kind of like dissipates, all the thorns on the children begin to come off. And obviously everyone here is finally seeing Luffy in Gear 5 form, in his Nika form, and they all look up at him in the sky, laughing, flying, and Ripley here is just like, damn, like he looks just like Nika. I think he really is the warrior of liberation. And then right after this, I can't see exactly what's going on, who's saying this in this one panel, but you can see someone replying, talking about Nika, a bedtime tale for children. Can you tell
yeah
who's saying that? Is that
I think that's supposed to be
Summers? I can't tell.
I think it's supposed to be Summers with this half of his head.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
but
But when I was
But like
reading that, I
he
could
said, a
not see.
bedtime tale for children. He's
Yeah.
like you gotta like that was something. If that's a giant, that's like just reaffirming like oh like
Uh-huh.
that's Nika like right. But if it's Summers, it's like he says bedtime tale for children. Remember they use like Nika to like scare the kids.
Mm,
It's like this is supposed to like in Marriage Raw, right? So
yeah. Oh,
um
okay.
yeah. So that could be either or to be honest. But
Uh-huh.
I think like right let's show you right after that we see the first mention of like the name. I don't know who says
Yes.
that. Like I think it's just one of the just was one of the giants. Oh, it's Nidhogg. Is that what saved us?
Hmm.
And I see it's what's this called? Gabon
Yeah.
was saying, it's that's definitely Loki. I've seen that before. We go to like a little flashback up to when they discovered the forbidden fruit.
Hmm.
And we go back to his Ja Rule, Gabon and Shanks, where he talks about how it's Nidhogg. It's supposed to be the dragon for a mythical model, Nidhogg. And I know people are tired. I think I saw someone say like people are tired of mythical Zoans. I'm not tired of mythical Zoans. I
I
think they're
ain't.
badass. I
I
do
ain't.
I do want I do want to see more. I do want to see more love to Logia because I remember Logia was the shit back then.
Oh yeah.
Now it's a mythical model.
Logias have fallen off,
Mythical,
I'm gonna be honest.
yeah. Because there's some mythical Zoans that basically are like Logias,
Yeah, like Marco's
like
fruit.
in Marco's fruit. It's just crazy. Um, and then Jarul says no matter who eats it, they will transform into the largest dragon in the world, and the maximum size of the beast corresponds to the ones who eats it. So this has to be only an ancient giant can unlock the biggest full potential
Yeah,
of
the
this,
true
right? So
potential of the fruit.
shit, man, give that shit to Or. Wait, was Ors was the no Ors was smaller than Loki. Um,
Yeah.
but he's
Ors
supposed to
was
be an
bigger
ancient
than all the
giant
other
too.
giants. Actually, was Ors an ancient giant too? I want to say he was.
Ors was an ancient giant,
Yeah,
yeah.
so maybe he could have, but I don't know if he would have taken on Ragnar though. You know?
Nah, no, right there, we're not gonna let that shit happen. But I think it's so like the dragon Odo draws in this next panel when they're talking about how like the proportional size
Yeah.
of the character. It's like so fun. It looks like a dragonite.
Yeah, it does. Some of the dragon, it's crazy to see. It's like, oh, you would think like, I'm not gonna lie, this is a goofy ass dragon. You know, it's kind of like a comical dragon. But then when you see Loki, you're like, yeah, this is not a comical dragon at all. But in this conversation between Shanks, Gabon, and Ja Rule, uh, Shanks kind of asks like to clarify, it's like, oh, and due to the danger power that this possesses, like you've been making sure like no one can eat it. And this is where I thought this was really interesting. He goes on to explain, it's like not quite. If anyone tries to eat the fruit, the guardian hammer Ragnar blocks their attempts. And he goes on to talk about the lore. So in Elbath, they had a legend about a warrior god who wielded a weapon known as Ragnar. And I think it has like, it's almost like in quotes like iron lightning, and turned into, wait, what is going on? Oh, and the legendary warrior turned into a enormous dragon to face off against the sun god. And here we can actually see a silhouette. Actually, not a silhouette. It normally is a silhouette, but it's kind of like a more defined picture of, I guess, the legendary sun god and warrior battle. But he fought alongside a trusted, loyal ice squirrel known as. You're gonna have to help me out with this one, but
Ratatoskr.
yeah.
Ratatoskr.
And he goes on to explain. In other words, without its master, Ratatoskr chose to inhabit his weapon instead and waits for its owner to return. So says the legend. So here we get, I guess. Also, I love the way the squirrel looks in this picture. Do you see how
Is
mean
this?
this squirrel
Yeah,
looks?
yeah. So this kind of does this not confirm though that like the hammer is the fruit, right? And then the
No.
squirrel ate.
Wait, wait, wait,
What the
wait,
fuck
wait,
is
what?
going on?
I think the squirrel just merged with the hammer. That's what
That's
it sounds like.
crazy.
Because I mean, the squirrel was its own. Like it was a what? It's a ice squirrel. Like I'm still
Dude,
not sure. It's like a
did
legendary
you
animal, right?
did you not see how crazy like the fucking squirrel had a like a hammerhead, dude? Like it was like a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I'm a little confused now about exactly what is going on with Ragnar and this ice squirrel, you know?
because all the magic that happens in the world of One Piece could just be, oh, it's a double fruit, right?
Yeah.
Like, I I don't know.
This is getting into like unknown territory, but from what it seems like, the ice squirrel waiting for the next legendary warrior just merged with the hammer. It seems like it just in Ja Rule's words, it inhabits his. It went to inhabit his weapon instead. And now Ragnar, after an eternity of standing guard over the fruit, has finally chosen Loki. Um, so I'm not entirely sure exactly. This is definitely going to be in the next SBS, right? Like people asking
Yeah,
about this, so we might just have to
yeah.
wait till the next SBS to get confirmation. And bro, this panel is sick. So we get to see it's Loki, Ragnar in his squirrel form, and Luffy on top of him as Loki kind of goes into action to defeat all the nightmares, and we can see all the nightmares are just like running away, completely terrified. As he charges up, I guess a lightning. Is this like a lightning breath?
That looks like a lightning breath.
Yeah.
That is
So
100.
okay, just making sure. And he charges a lightning breath, and I believe this attack is called Thorheim, and he completely just one shots all of the nightmares. In this blast, and then Gunko or Emu and Gunko here are just reacting to this. And dude, this must be, Emu's worst nightmare. You see Loki, Luffy, and the squirrel just wreaking havoc
Dude,
on
the
all the nightmares.
squirrel,
The
look at the
squirrel, the
squirrel. Look,
squirrel's just cheering him on, sitting
the
on his head.
squirrel.
And this is the end of the chapter, but we can see Emu just saying like, "I see." So like this is where thou were, and he's referring to the Nidhogg fruit.
Dude, I'm tired of fucking Emu, man. He thinks, or they, them thinks
Yeah,
that they're motherfucking Shakespeare, bro. Like, what the
yeah.
fuck? That's where thou were. Okay, let's relax, buddy.
uh,
Let's relax. But man, I can't stress how fucking sick this shit is, bro. Like, Thorheim, like, dude, this could be dude, this is gonna be its own episode, man.
mhm. Oh no, this is gonna be a
Loki
fire
just
episode.
charging up everything and just going complete ham.
Mhm.
And dude, how the hell does the Straw Hat Alliance lose at this point? Because we see Loki might be like him, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like in terms of how strong he is. But all this is, I'm gonna just be real, bro. All this is a Shanks upscale, dude.
Bro,
This
wait till he
this
pulls out the
motherfucker got
knots, bro. Wait till
That's
he
what
pulls
I'm
out all the
saying.
knots.
All this motherfucker got clapped by Shanks, supposedly, right? Am I getting
Mhm.
this wrong?
Yeah.
And Shanks is a sword, so you already know how that's about to go. You already,
Bro,
you
since when
already
was One Piece about swordsmen, you know?
swordsmanship. Since when was One Piece? Since when was One Piece about sword? That might have been the best
Yo,
thing anyone's ever said. Speed. I don't know why we've gone to that. The when Speed said that shit,
yeah. I
he
was like,
is
yo, this
actually
guy actually
spitting.
watches One Piece, bro. This guy actually watches One Piece. I had to bring it up as soon as she said that. Oh my god. Nah. But dude, okay. Fire chapter. Let's get into ratings before we talk a little bit more about it. So what are you going with,
And
Lyle?
man, I'm saying, dude, this is a 10 out of 10, bro. Because you know what? There's so many like pages of this chapter
Yeah.
of just badassery. Specifically, two scenes, right? Of like,
Hmm.
for one, the Dawn Thorlet rifle is
Yeah.
fucking badass,
Oh
right?
yeah.
The fucking even on impact, the goofy ass face he makes into his
Yeah.
head being split, and then into the fucking Thorheim attack, and then
Mhm.
right after that we see a like any more like emu talking reveals all that kind of shit,
Mhm.
and people love that shit, right? So
Yeah.
we get that at the end too. Oh my god, no, this has been fucking sick. I
Nah.
love this chapter. This is a very, very good chapter. I mean, not even just like that, right? Like we see, Zoro getting some shine, Sanji getting some shine too. Everyone we get goofiness from Saint Summers. I love Saint Summers, man. He's
Saint Summers
a sick
is,
man.
I'm not gonna lie, he actually might be the GOAT of Elbaf, like so far.
He he is a sick man, but
Mhm.
he's hilarious. I
Yeah,
love Saint
out
Summers
of
and him
all
getting
the Holy Knights, Summers has the most personality, and I think he's had the most screen time, pretty much, so far that we've seen. So no,
yeah, we don't really see much of killing him. We haven't really seen much of killing him,
Mhm.
and I guess Gunko's being controlled, so we can't really do nothing about that.
Yeah. Okay, so you gave it a 10. I gave it a 9. Again, really great chapter. All these, seeing everyone in action. I don't know why I am a sucker for like these I guess these like lore drops, like specifically Job Rule mentioning about like how in ancient Elbaf they had like a legendary warrior and his, you know how the legendary warrior had the Nidhogg fruit, but also wielded Ragnir and fought alongside of, what is it, Ratatusker? um,
Ratatoskr, Ratatoskr,
yeah, Ratatusker. So I love these
song.
little lore drops that was in this chapter. So I gave it a 9/10. Great chapter once again. Finally seeing Loki in action, always the best. Let's see. Is there anything else? Is there anything you wanted to bring up in this chapter specifically? I feel
No.
like not like besides what we talked about already, like nothing really much to kind of discuss besides the
So,
big debate about the squirrel and the hammer that we kind of went over already.
I think I want to talk about is how does Ibu go from here? Because like
I think he was
it's
gonna.
gonna this chapter.
I
This
think at
I
this
mean
point you
I
just
don't
gotta
know
retreat. Like what are you gonna do?
because Ibu also has to worry about what's going on in Marriage Wall too. So
Yes.
like maybe all the Holy Knights retreat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna happen with Saint Summers. Probably just end up like getting teleported back too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I think at this
Uh,
point you just gotta like they're fighting a losing battle right now. As soon as Loki
yeah.
and Luffy showed up, I think this really changed the tides of battle here. So I think what's gonna happen is Imu's gonna, maybe not in the next chapter, but in a few chapters, they just gotta retreat back to Marriage Wall. Also, again, you mentioned they gotta deal with what's going on in Marriage Wall. We gotta remember that what is going on in Marriage Wall? Didn't
It's getting
they
like
say
burned
it was in
alive
flames
it's
or
getting like
something?
yeah, it's getting
Like
burned
like they
up
got
right
to
now.
attack on Marriage Wall, and personally I would actually love to see what's going on in Marriage Wall. Like who's leading this attack, what's going on, is it the Revolutionary Army, is Sabo there, like what's going on exactly?
Yeah.
So I think that's like kind of my, I guess, predictions for the next few chapters in the future, but I think that might be farther down, like maybe like 3-4 chapters from now.
hmm Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of like what else, but I think that's like one thing for me. Like that's just like the biggest thing because now we eliminate the threats of what's going on with the Holy Knight. Now it's just what is Ibu gonna do?
Yeah,
If I was Ibu, I would retreat. Like you said, this is a losing battle, and
they
if
don't
you
even
are
have
gonna
a
fight,
ship to take the children back, like
and if you're gonna do this battle, like it's gonna take too long. You know what I'm
uh
saying? So it's GG's. Just go back to Mary's Rock. And you again, like you said, like there's no ship. There's nothing to gain out of this. Maybe besides potentially killing either Loki or Luffy, but that's not even gonna happen.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know where they go from here.
Huh.
And this does
Interesting.
seem like kind of like that climax of like the story progression, right? Like this is the big thing of the story. We see Loki. We finally get to see Loki freed. We saw his backstory. We see his big attack. Right now, it's just up to what's gonna happen with what's his face, Emo. What's gonna happen there?
Yeah. No,
Um,
I think so. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
I think that concludes this video. Anything you want to say to the viewers?
Yeah. Fuck. I was gonna say fuck someone. One of the characters.
Oh,
Yeah, man. I just want to say is, how does it go? This has been like, if this is gonna be, if this is gonna lead to the conclusion of Wano, not Wano. Oh my God, Elbaf. Um, very good. Where is like Elbaf shaping out to be in one of in like your top like favorite like arcs?
oh man. Okay, so far I'm not gonna lie. Like so far, it's definitely been better than Egghead. I think Egghead was short,
Because
but
I
it
feel
was
like
pretty
people,
hype.
I mean, people also talked about how much like how good what's it called Egghead was as it was
Yeah,
coming out,
Egghead was
right?
great,
Like,
but I think you gotta also encompass like I also encompass the Rock's backstory. Like
um,
Loki backstory, Rock's backstory. What's it called? What's Harold's backstory? Even like parts of Shank's backstory, like all into Elbath, and I think those I'm just like, damn, like it adds up, you know.
oh, so Elbaf is a backstory merchant.
Dude, yeah, I mean, bro, if you did the breakdown of how many chapters were backstory, like just
Yeah.
backstories in Elbath, it would be at least half, you know. So I'm willing to say, as well as like lore drop and honestly overall hype, bro. Dude, Loki as a character was so cool. My only thing about like I really liked Egghead, but it didn't introduce any like besides Vegapunk, it didn't really introduce. That was like the only character they introduced, right? I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
I think so.
So like seeing like, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. Do you remember the first time we saw Loki?
Yeah, that show's goofy as hell.
Bro, that shit was crazy.
You
So
never
far for me.
trust, never trust a silhouette.
Yeah.
Evil could look goofy as hell for all we know.
Yeah. No, so
His whole character is just a silhouette. He could
yeah.
be.
So far for me, Elbaf is above um Egghead. Is it above Wano though? I gotta think about that one. You know, I personally am a really big fan of Wano. I
I
thought
love
Wano was
Wano so much.
so good.
People
I
they talk about how like people talk about, oh, like it's carried by the end. Fuck you. I,
no, even
fuck you.
like the whole Odin backstory. I could see why. I did go back and watch it. I could see why it felt like very drawn out in the anime. But when I was reading it, I was like, bro, dude, this guy Odin's the goat. You know, like everything
Yeah.
was so good. And then again, that fight was insane. So for me, I don't. Again, Elbaf isn't over yet, so I don't know exactly where how it's gonna end. But I would say for me right now, it does not beat Wano. What about you? How are you liking? Where are you placing Elbaf right now? Because I think once Elbaf finishes, we need to do an update on our I guess our arc tier list. You know, we did that a long time ago. That was like one of our
I
first
think
few
I
videos.
listen, man. I think a top three, bro. Right now,
I'm willing to
might be.
say. I'm trying to remember what we put. We did a draft, didn't we?
Yeah. So like, so the thing with like the thing with Marineford and like people like Marineford, people like put
Marine
Marineford,
Ford,
Sabaody,
Water Seven.
the Water Seven
Ooh,
is there was a big emotional
yeah,
um like risk. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like something was at stake, right?
yeah,
Something gigantic was at stake. Even if it's like obviously as the story progresses, the stake gets higher and higher and higher, right? But
yeah.
I'm talking about like relative to like the power level of our heroes
Mhm.
of the big characters.
Y-
Robin leaving, right? That
Yeah.
was a gigantic stake in the story. Like
Mhm.
Stabody, Luffy's like people like disappearing from him losing, right?
Yeah.
Marineford, Ace dying, what does that like does Elbaf have that, you know?
Right now,
Does-
no, dude. I completely agree with you, right there. It doesn't. It's like Elbaf is hype, but it doesn't have the same stakes because of how OP these characters are. You know. Like I think it's great you mentioned like Saboti. Like seeing Luffy literally lose, like, and it wasn't like, wow, that was close, but he lost. It was like, no, that wasn't even close. You know what I mean? Like he stood
Yeah.
completely no chance. Like that was like at the time, bro, I was devastated, bro. I actually was devastated.
When I
Um,
was reading that, I did it. I was like, because I feel like when I'm watching now, right? Like I think the
yeah,
closest thing is like, oh, Dorian Brocky being controlled, but I feel like in the back
bro,
of my head, oh, they're gonna be brought back, right?
yeah,
But in my head, when I was watching Saboti, I was like, oh my God, these guys are.
cooked,
How are they gonna
bro.
come back? How
Yeah,
are they gonna come back together?
seeing Ace get a hole through his stomach, I was like, but will he come back? You know, like he's
Yeah,
coming back,
but
right? But here it seems
I
like the
don't see.
stakes aren't as high. Like nobody in the Straw Hat crew is like, I'm not expecting anyone to die here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
it
don't.
just doesn't have
That's
that those stakes. Or like Marine
yeah.
Ford, Whitebeard dying, you know, Ace dying.
Might be dying,
Bro, seeing all the even the Marine soldiers, bro, and Whitebeard crew, like,
dude,
dude, they got wiped.
dude.
Like,
Dude, in Wano, we saw Luffy like lose like 3 times, and he died. He
yeah,
legit
he
died.
died. Yeah, and then also seeing like even Wano, bro, seeing the what I forgot what they
Seeing the
call them,
boys
the red
died.
scarab, like the crew.
The scarabs,
When
the
they lost
scarabs.
to
Yeah.
Kaido, I was like, God damn it, bro! Like I was so sad, and you know, like there's a lot of shows where like it just feels like there's no stakes. Like it's like okay, the main character is OP, like they will always win. You know what I mean? They might like it might look like they're losing for a second, but they're about to power up and win. But One Piece as a story has always been like obviously it also has that niche of like, damn, yo, he's losing, he's gonna power up and win, but like it always felt like there was some stakes, you know, all the time. Even with like the main character, but also like even the side characters. Like for example, like one good example I would say is like solo leveling, bro. That guy's just too OP. Like my issue with that is
Yes.
like, okay, there's just the guy. There's no issues for this guy. You know, like he's gonna win every single time. It's like very linear. You know, but like in One Piece, there's ups downs. You know, up and down constantly. So, but yeah, for me, Elbaf actually hasn't really had that so far. But I guess we'll see where it goes from
Because
here. Because who knows, yo? I'm still waiting for this Usopp power up.
we literally see
Shit.
the fucking a gigantic, the world's biggest dragon, like with fucking lightning coming out of its
Yeah.
ass,
And we
and
talking
then
about
we see,
Usopp shooting green
and we talk
beans.
about.
Fucking peas, bro. So
We
we'll
see
see.
legendary squirrels
Yeah.
waiting for centuries for the one.
Yeah.
We talk about Usopp.
Everything at Elbaf always leads back to Usopp, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. What the fuck? I feel bad for Usopp fans, man.
Dude, yeah.
That's
But
that's tough. That's tough.
I think that's it for us here. So if you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know, I think we'll be back sometime next week to do 1176, chapter 1176 when it drops. So stay tuned for that.
All right, man. This is for me. We have a new chapter coming out next week.
Yep.
We're gonna have another podcast next week. There's really nothing much else, man. You guys are made it this far. Please like, subscribe, comment. You know what to do with all that fun stuff. And yeah, that's it. Well, peace out.
See you.
See.